In this video, we'll learn to use angles when describing position and direction and measure angles in degrees. We'll start by measuring angles in degrees first because you're going to need that when describing position and direction using maps, for example. So what you'll need is a ruler and a protractor. I always encourage learners to use pencils rather than pens when drawing because they might get it wrong, so then you could easily rub out whatever answer you think is wrong. So we'll start by drawing a line first. So what I'm doing is I'm constructing an angle, drawing an angle, in other words. So I'll start by drawing a line, and then we'll use a protractor to draw an angle of 100 degrees. So you will see that 100 is there, but it's also there as well. And why is that? Because a protractor you know can be used or works in similar ways to a calculator. So it starts from 0. So if your angle starts here, or you start measuring your angle here, then you go 0, 10, 20, 30, 40 and so on this way. But if your angle is on this other side, then you'd start from this 0 here, so 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 and so on. So it depends on where your angle is, and we'll do both of the sides as well. So if you look at this, I want to draw a 100 degree angle on this side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the protractor and put the end of this line right in line with this cross here. So I'll place it right on top, and the line of the protractor is aligned with the line underneath, so it's right on top of it. Now I want to draw my angle here, so I'll go from the line, so 0, 10, 20, 90, and we're going to 100, so that point is right here. So I connect these two points together, so this angle now is 100 degrees. And the way to check it also, this is bigger than 90 degrees because a 90 degree angle would come to this point, so this is larger than 90 degrees, and 100 degrees is larger than 90 degrees. Now we'll draw another one over here. So there is a straight line, and I'll draw it on the other side this time around. So that means I'm going to have to align it with a protractor, so right on top. This means the end of the line, and this line on the protractor is on top of the line I drew. So now I've got to start drawing, it's got to start counting from 0. So 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60, 70, so I'll go to 100 because that's the angle that I want. So now it is this angle, this side, 100 degrees as well. So both of them are 100 degrees. This is on this side and that is on the other side. Now we'll measure one angle. So I'm gonna randomly draw an angle. It's this one that I'm after, so it's marked there. So what do? I can start in any direction, it doesn't matter. So I'll suppose this is my straight line, and there we go, aligned carefully on top of that corner, and we're starting from 0, so 10, 20, 30, 40, so it's over 40, not 50 yet, so it is about 49 degrees, so it's about 49 degrees. Now we'll try and do it on the other side, the same angle. So I will align it carefully, start from 0, so 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, again, not 50 yet, so about 49. So that is 49 degrees. Now we'll try and measure another angle. So I want to measure 210 degrees. So I will try and do it this way, so 210. As you can see, you start from 0, this goes up to 180, but 210 is bigger, so I'll put a mark there and I'll turn this around. So 210 I said I want, and I've got 180 already, it's a straight line. So how many more degrees do I need to make 210? So that is 30 degrees. So I'll turn this around, so that means I've got this already and I need more. So I need to continue with the rotation. So if you go there, align it again, so that matches with the 0 there. So now we're starting again from 0 and go into 30, so 10, 20, 30. So that's the point that we need to connect with the center, and we continue this angle. So now this angle is 210 degrees. So this is 210 degrees. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and describe position and direction using a map. At entry 3, we looked at a map and we identified 8 compass points, which were north, south, east, west, northeast, southeast, southwest and northwest. Now that is a useful way to describe position and direction, but we'll try and be a bit more precise this time, because what if a place is right here? So it is within maybe northeast, but is it more like north? So we'll try and measure the degrees, measure the angle to be precise, and we'll use the map to do that. So we'll pick 2 different places, Glasgow and Edinburgh, and we'll try and find what we call the bearing of Edinburgh from Glasgow. So the wording suggests from Glasgow, that suggests that we start with Glasgow, and we always start from the north. So I'm gonna use this ruler to draw the north of from Glasgow. So there is a straight angle there. So we've got Glasgow. Now we're moving from Glasgow to Edinburgh. So what is that bearing? In other words, we're looking for this angle. So always we start from the north and we go clockwise when we measure the angle when it comes to bearings. So maps should remind you of that. So I'll start from the north, so that's 0 there. I'll bring it closer to the camera. So we'll start from 0. As you can see, so that is, you see where This center is just on top of the city where we're measuring from, so Glasgow, and the line that I drew, the north, due north, is in line with this line of the protractor. So there we go, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Now, as you can see, this is a short line. So in order to be accurate and measure exactly how many degrees this is, I need to extend the line. So I'll put this down and extend the line between Glasgow and Edinburgh, so I can be more precise when measuring. And you'd keep this down when measuring, but I need to bring it up so that we can read this close to the camera closely and accurately. So again, a line, start from 0, so now it's easier to read it. So we get, as you can see, we have 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, not 80 yet, but 75, 76, 77. I'd say this is closer to 77, so this is about 77 degrees. So 77 degrees. But bearings, we write them with 3 digits. So if there isn't 100, 200 in there, or 300, we'll put 0. So that's how we write the bearing. It's still 77 degrees, we just put a 0 in front. So the bearing of Edinburgh from Glasgow is 077, which is 77 degrees. So that's how you'd read it. The bearing of Edinburgh from Glasgow is 077 or 77 degrees. Now we'll have a look at another bearing. So we'll have a look at Dublin. So the bearing of Dublin from Cork. So there is Cork, so it says from Cork. So that's my starting point, from Cork. And we look at drawing north first, a line towards north, and that's the top of the paper, so trying to get a 90-degree angle there, so it goes north, right? And we set from Cork, so the bearing of Dublin from Cork, so we're going to Dublin. So from Cork, that means we measuring this angle. So again, I'll take my protractor and align it. There is the angle that I need to measure, aligned, starting from 0. So I'll go. Again, I need to make this line a bit longer so that I can work out precisely the number of degrees or read the measurement. So there we are. Aligning the protractor, starting from 0. So we go to 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 42 degrees. This is 42 degrees. as you can see, that is 42. So I'll write the full sentence. So we're saying the bearing of Dublin from Cork is 042 degrees, which is 42 degrees. What would be the bearing of Inverness from Aberdeen? So Inverness is there from Aberdeen, so we're starting with Aberdeen, drawing north, so that's the line that represents north, and we're going to Inverness. So that means we're going this way because it's always clockwise. We're starting from north, always we're starting from north, and we're going clockwise. So that means I'll go through this, and what this suggests to me is that it will be more than 180 degrees, and I can easily just continue this line. So that's the point where Aberdeen is. I'll continue this line. So this is going to be 180 degrees already, and I need to add up this angle. So I need to add those degrees on top. So there we have the 180 degrees already. We need to add this as well. So I'm not going to measure this part because I know it's 180 degrees. I'll just measure this one. So I will go aligning this correctly. So we have a straight line. So we're starting from 0, and we need to go to Inverness again. We need to extend the line so that we can work more easily and accurately. So there we go. And we go 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So it is 103. So we add in 103. That is 103. So altogether, this is gonna be 180 and 103. So there is 283 degrees. So I can say that the bearing of Inverness from Aberdeen is 283, so 283 degrees. I'll bring it closer so we can read it as well. So to summarize, bearings always start from the north. We always measure clockwise. We write the bearings using 3 digits, like 283. If there isn't any hundreds in there, we put a 0 in front, so 077 or 042, like here, and it still means degrees. And where we start and where we're going to is the wording. So if the question is to find the bearing of Inverness from Aberdeen suggests that you start with Aberdeen and you go in then to Inverness. just like the bearing of Edinburgh from Glasgow. So of Edinburgh means we're going to Edinburgh. From Glasgow, that's where we're starting. And the bearing of Dublin from Cork means that we're starting with Cork and we're going to Dublin. So this summarizes how we use angles when describing position and direction, and how we measure angles in degrees.